Hey everybody, how's it going? The very first special event of the new round of the new season, Season 2, Round 1, is of course the one that's featuring the brand new Ferrari SF90 Stradale. So, now this car, as I mentioned in the new version overview video, it is featured in next week's weekly time trials. So I don't want to wait until the very beginning of next week to start going through this event because then this is a special event where you have to wait 24 hours between stages unlock. So it's a 7-day event. So if you start too late, then you're not going to win this car before the next week's time trial expires, right? So I am getting started kind of halfway into this week, actually a little bit further than halfway into the week, since it is Friday here, and the next week's time trial starts on Monday, right? So my goal here is to try to make my way as far as I can without putting any upgrades on. And once the upgrade discount, if and once it kicks in, I may consider getting them. But before the next week's weekly time trial starts, I should be at least through like several first earlier, easier stages of the event. So I should be able to get through that without spending any resources on this car. And then once the discount kicks in, then I can consider getting it. Now, since, having more upgrades will yield better results in the weekly time trial, that's something to consider. And also the bonus series this car's featured in, Hybrid Horizon, that requires PR 88.8. So that is a lot of upgrades that you're going to have to put on to, meet that PR requirement. It'll cost you some 955 gold. So if we get, half the 40% discount, maybe, then that's going to bring the cost closer to more like somewhere between 500, 600 gold, which is, you know, a bit more reasonable considering that we get 125 gold back from this event. If I can score at least rank B in weekly time trial, that knocks down another 100 gold. And then since I own all the cars featured in that bonus series, I want to say Event Horizon, no, Hybrid Horizon, there's another 76 gold to be won. So, that brings the fully upgrading this car possibly, or actually fully upgrading this car will cost you a few more gold. It's gonna cost like 1,535 gold because the upgrade tree on this car is a little funky. We don't get just 3 upgrades across the board. Like let's for engine, for example, first 3 upgrades are all racing dollars only, and the body actually has 7 stages of upgrades, and that one, for the most part, alternates between like racing dollar upgrade, gold upgrade, racing dollar upgrade, gold upgrade, until you get to the last 3, where stage 5 and 6 are both racing dollar upgrades, and then the last upgrade is, of course, the expensive like 495 gold upgrade, which you don't need to get unless you are gonna max out. So, with that being said, as I said, the car itself is worth some 800 gold. You can get it for 640 gold with the showcase discount, which, I don't find very useful, to be honest. Anyway, then there's a victory point available, 10,000. That's gotta yield. Here, let's check out how far we get with a 10,000. 10,000. Okay, it's only, I guess, first gold tier. But there are 6 weekly time trials, right? So that, if you get through that, still, I guess it's not quite 16,500 is what you need to claim the next gold. Okay, so there's extra 25 gold. Fine. Still, that's not for nothing, right? So, yeah. And then is there any? There's got to be other time trial this update, right? Yeah. So there's the 911 GT2 time trial, which pays 1,000 victory points, and then there's of course Formula One time trial. So those are two events. Even if you don't own the cars, that you should be able to participate. And Formula One pays 1,200 victory points. So in terms of, as I was saying, just by running through weekly time trials and the time trial competitions and completing this special event, there is another, I guess, 75 gold available if you do that. But if you're coming into this event later at some other point, then finishing this event will only get you 25 extra gold from victory points. But that's still not for nothing, right? So anyway, enough of yapping. Let's get going. It is a 7-stage event, so 7-day event where one stage unlocks per day, and looks like we're starting down under in Australia. Stage 1, Melbourne Madness. So we got Ahmed, who's been looking for us, apparently, all over the town. Abandon this Melbourne track day to instead be my champion in this year's Hybrid Cup in Italy. Most prestigious and exclusive event in the world for hybrids. The Hybrid Cup starts in a week, and I think you're my best shot at claiming victory. I'll give you a spectacular new Ferrari Stradale SF90, my ticket to finally beating Chip McGee. Okay, so he's now our primary antagonist. Seems odd, but okay, we're taking turns. Can't lose him again, lose to him again, especially with what happened a few years ago. I suppose we can't have you simply give up on this Melbourne track day that you've started. Alright, how about you take the SF90 for a spin and show off its sheer 1,000 horsepower. When your opponents see how outmatched they are, they'll probably all resign. Alright, so 7 stages. As you can see, stage 2 will unlock in some 13 hours time. Yeah, this first stage is 3 goals. So, alright. Right, the usual comment. So, as you can see, it's a recommended PR event, so you don't have to. If you can win without any upgrades, you don't have to. But as I said, this car has some funny upgrade trees. You can get 12 upgrades without spending any gold, and that's gonna cost you some 1,378,000 racing dollars, and brings your PR up to 81.1. So, I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of time because stage 1 upgrade takes 12 hours, and there's no instant service or upgrade offer on this event, at least not as of yet. Even if after you complete the first event, or yeah. So, what you get is 12 hours for stage 1, 18 hours for stage 2, and full day for stage 3. And as I said, you can get up to 3rd stage on engine. You can get up to 2nd stage on exhaust, brakes, and tires and wheels. The last 3 categories of upgrades available on this car, right? So yeah, it's got some, as I mentioned, a little different upgrade tree, right? So, and yeah, if you want to meet the PR requirement for the bonus series, Hybrid Horizon, you're gonna need to get everything maxed out except for body and brakes, which unfortunately doesn't cost a whole lot for that final brakes upgrade. It only costs 85 gold, but it's, 85 gold less to bring your PR up to 88.8. Anywho, so I wouldn't feel bad about like getting started on getting all those maxing out on those racing dollar upgrades, just because they're, you know, it's racing dollar upgrades. I have 41 million to burn here, so you know, spending like how much was it? 1.3 doesn't seem like it's gonna, you know, my bank's gonna take that big of a hit. So, you know, something to consider. All right, and also, I guess by the time you are done with the event and want to put some racing dollar upgrades on to get ready for the weekly time trial, obviously, even if those are just racing dollar upgrades only, if you're able to win the car with racing dollar upgrades only, then that means you have that much better chance at you know, scoring higher on weekly time trial, right? So once again, that's not for nothing. All right, so this is gonna be a little bit more slippery, right? I was just trying to see if I can drift, but it just threw the car smack against the wall. It's a so all right, fine. Let's check out some different racing modes on this new car. Nice shiny bonnet here, and then yes, this car has way too many screens. So yeah, I've seen some reviews on this car, and like I think they went a little overboard with the touch screen. So like temperature, like you know, the climate control in the car is entirely done with the touch screen, and you're like a lot of the controls on the steering wheel itself, I believe, are touch screen as well. So I mean, one of those things, like touch screen's cool, I guess, once you know exactly where your finger's going, but until you get to that point, it is something that is gonna take your eyes off of the road. So yeah, I do wonder about those cars that get a little too carried away, especially on a car like this one. It's a, you know, 1,000 horsepower with some ridiculous acceleration time. Right? Wait, didn't I overtake somebody? Were there 21 cars? That's a weird size grid. But anyway, almost had that one. Alright, let's get back on to... There you go. Dead last, I think? No, that's not my rank. It's just telling us which century we are in. Alright. And since this is a recommended PR event, the point here is try to finish lower rank or slower if you can. You know, bare minimum is what we want to put in, because bots will adjust according to your performance, right? So higher you finish, higher rank you finish, the next challenge will get, the bots in the next challenge will get that much faster. So sometimes you have no option, you know, but when possible, I would say, you know, try it. You might be surprised. Your bots may be much more tame. Anyway, 3 hour service time on this car. Just under 2,000 racing dollars for that. which most of you guys, it's no concern. Your race earning alone should cover that. Anyway, goal 1 out of 3 done. Feel the raw speed of all that hybrid horsepower. Indeed. Alright, moving on. Goal 2. We got a tailgate for a minute behind Zoe. So, yeah, goals like this one, for example, we're starting in P2, and my guess is as soon as you complete that tailgating time requirement met, I think the goal's gonna be over. So we'll get behind. Ooh, is that Sion? The Lambo Sion? Or is it STO? Hurricane STO, I don't know. It's one or the other. It's a Lambo, it's a wedge. Right? Okay, we'll keep our nice distance behind while accumulating our tailgating time. So just over halfway now. Yeah, this car has incredible acceleration, so I have a feeling that's gonna come into play a role at some point. Alright, 54, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and yep, as I said, ends as soon as you complete that 1 minute of tailgating. And yeah, even though you ended up behind Zoe, doesn't matter. You are still number 1. Isn't that nice of them to tell you you're number 1? Alright, good enough. I was Sion. Alright, let's continue on to the final goal of stage 1. Is that a mint condition Stradale SF90? Yeah, this is a production car, by the way. It's not a limited production or anything like that. Lap 6 opponents this time. So yeah, they were saying this is sort of the new future of Ferrari. So yeah, there we go. Let's lap some cars. And then, since it's one of those, yeah, as I was saying, this car handles more like perhaps the likes of Lotus Evija, where it accelerates ridiculously fast, so it reaches, you know, perhaps not the top speed, but it reaches the higher speed very quickly, so you just have to make sure you watch your speedometer so you don't you know, think you want to make sure you don't miss the breaking point there. Boy, these guys are using a very interesting race line, aren't they? Can't tell if they're trying to just get away, make room for me to pass on the inside, because they're swinging very far out. Except this guy. There's Senna. Alright, once again, as soon as you complete those goal, in this case, over lapping 6 opponents, event or the goal is over. And you end up with a P1 finish once again. So I guess it's kind of a moot point trying to finish dead last on that very first goal. Anyway, that gets us through the stage 1. And should we service the car? Nah. Early stages are easy. And here's one more thing that I recommend. Start the event closer to midnight in your region. So that way, stage 2 unlocks right away. Then you can go right ahead without, you can get 2 stages done, basically, essentially, in a very short amount of time. And also, I believe you get extra time when you reach the final stage as well. All right, let's collect some rewards for completion of the stage 1. We get 500 victory points, 5 gold, and 20,000 racing dollars. So not much at the beginning, but even if you're not able to afford any gold upgrades on this card, I would still say, go for it. Like these early stages, there's some free gold and victory points available, so combined with the weekly time trial victory points, you may score some valuable resources that can come in clutch, Would you look at that? That stunt you just pulled off, easily lapping your opponent, just made them all resign. Can't say I'm very surprised. It was really the only logical choice. Competition ended as soon as you brought that monstrosity on the track. Oh. Now that has been taken care of. You're now free to come up to Europe and race for me in the Hybrid Cup. Alright, so where are we going to? Silverstone. Alright, so headed over to UK, get a bit more practice with the Stradale. I want you in top shape with when the cup starts. Sounds good enough. So there we go. Stage 1 is over. So we'll pick up on stage 2 tomorrow. So stay tuned and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.